Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sports Science Excel. This is episode 4, and we're going to go over how to wrap text and shrink to fit. Okay, so we're going to work in this section here. So the wrap text key is found in the Home tab, right above Merge and Center, where this is what we talked about in last episode. If you want to learn more about how to merge and unmerge cells, refer to episode 3. So this function up here, wrap text, basically tells the cell to create another row when the text has reached the end of the cell. Okay, so let's look at this cell, for example. You can see it's a small cell and it contains text that says unilateral horizontal bounds. It's a lot of text for a small cell. So let's make that a little bit bigger, and then we're going to select wrap text, and you can see that it's not visual there, but that's because it wrapped and is now below. So I'm just going to make that row a little bit bigger, column a little bit bigger, and you can see how this is working. Shrinking up that text. Unilateral horizontal bounds. Okay, you can see how it wraps it instead of just continuing the text and overlapping with other cells. So oftentimes I like to use wrap text for the headers of a database. That way I don't have to widen out the column, let's say this far, so that all the text can fit in. I can keep my column widths fairly manageable and still allow all the text to be present. And it keeps it nice. And it's also useful if you have a report where somebody, maybe an athlete, is taking notes and reporting back to you, then you can have a notes section, hit wrap text, align it to the left and to the top. So now when they type, it works just as Microsoft Word would. So, hey coach, today everything went well. Okay? So you can see how that would work. So now let's talk about the shrink to fit function. So this is another very useful function for maybe an exercise template that you're creating, so that you don't have to manually go in and adjust the text size. So the shrink to fit function, when you select the cells, you can see this corner here next to font. Select that. We'll pull up this little window, and under alignment, you can check this box next to shrink to fit. So I'm going to do that, and you're going to see what will happen to this text here. Automatically shrinks to fit the size of the cell, okay? So it doesn't matter what you put in here, Monday. It'll continue to shrink to fit the size of that cell. The same thing goes for if you take text away, it'll increase the size, but it doesn't. For example, I think the largest font size that it'll increase to match the size of the cell is 12. So font size 12. So once the cell gets bigger than that, if you want bigger font, you'll have to manually go in and uncheck the box and largen that text. Okay, so but that's very useful if you want to, oftentimes people will select this highlights the entire document. If you're working in a lot of cells, a lot of different size cells, and some cells contain multiple words for a workout, while others might just contain some numbers for sets and reps, you can select that in order to apply the shrink to fit function to the entire document. I'm gonna uncheck these, and then you can work from there. Okay, so now you can see how all the fonts adjusted accordingly, and this obviously isn't set up ideal for shrink to fit right now, just with the size of the cells and what I'm trying to show. So I'm just gonna undo that, and then, but yeah, I find that those two are very, very useful for different things. I guess, depending on what you're wanting to report and display. But yeah, I hope that you found this little tutorial useful, and that you learned something from wrapping text and shrinking to fit, and maybe you can apply it to whatever you got going on. If you have any questions on how to further use these functions, whether it's this video or another, just feel free to drop a comment in the video, in the section below the video, and I'll make sure to get back to you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next video where we're going to talk about text alignment. Okay. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and talk to you soon.